Hakeem, fall away, got it. Off David Robinson's hands and into the basket. Hakeem with the jump hook, over Terry Cummings.
Trying to turn baseline. He I'll tell you, Olajuwon has David Robinson just bamboozled.
Now, when we talk about dominant centers in the NBA, everybody always talks about Shaquille O'Neal. And when we think about the most unstoppable shot, we think of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But a lot of people sleep on, in my opinion, the most talented, well-rounded, all aspects of the game center. We've got Hakeem Olajuwon. Obviously a Hall of Famer. He's a 12-time All-Star, 3-time block champion, 12-time All-NBA, 2 times Final MVP with the 2 championships he won, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. So like I said, this guy is super well-rounded. Of course, he's known for the dream shake, which we will do a little bit in these gameplays. But guys, in my opinion, this is the best all-around center to ever play in the NBA. And I think if he's still playing the NBA today, he would be as unstoppable or even more unstoppable than he was before. Now, the thing with Hakeem, his badges were kind of weird. I was checking them out on the created roster. If you guys have been asking me how I look at their animations and stuff like that, that's how you go to it. Just go to created roster and look at it. He had over 40 defensive badges, guys, so obviously we can't really replicate that quite yet. These are the badges that we're going to end up using. A lot of people I know are going to be commenting this, but the Dream Shake badge, I tried it and it really does not work online. Even though it says that it helps, you know, with after shot fake attempts and post moves, I don't really think it helps at all. I used it, didn't really see it really working, but Hakeem, quick first step, 100%. You can throw on post pin technician or whatever. But like I said, since Hakeem is such a great all-around and amazing defender, you know we had to put on rim protector, of course intimidator. If you really wanted to, you could put like chase down artist, maybe clamps on bronze, rebound chaser on bronze, but I'm doing everything for the best defensive stuff. Now guys, if you're new to the channel, the way that we like to do this, we like to use all of their animations and kind of test them out at the park. I'll throw them up on the screen real quickly. If you guys do like series like this and you want to continue, let me know down below in the comments section. Like I said, Hakeem Olajuwon, guys, 99 overall, taking over the park. Let's hop right into it. Alright guys, so we're back at the park. You can see we've got the whole Hakeem fit on. Now we went on like a 10-game win streak, so what you guys are seeing are basically just the highlights. Some of these games obviously weren't the most competitive, so I'm just going to kind of throw in the highlights of those. This game is the very first one that I had, and I'm telling you, man, Hakeem's moves, and traditionally for me, they're not the best to use in the game, and especially since the shimmies really aren't that good, and I'll kind of point them out as we go on. But today, guys, we're going to be talking about and using all of Hakeem Olajuwon's moves. Now, in my opinion, Hakeem Olajuwon is the best all-around center in the game. When it comes to defense, when it comes to scoring, the passing IQ, just being able to face up towards the basket, take somebody off the dribble, score, play an elite defense, there's none better than Hakeem Olajuwon. So if you guys don't know, 1984 first overall draft pick. MJ was actually 3rd in that draft class. Now, obviously, when your team is drafting you 1st overall, you're not going into the best situation. And we've seen a lot of rookies go into situations lately that weren't able to really dominate and really kind of change the culture, and they've been traded away in the first couple of years. But this was not the case with Hakeem Olajuwon. His team was 29-53 before he got drafted to him. The very first season with them, he changed the whole culture, and they had a 48-34 record that year where he averaged 20 points a game, 12 rebounds, 2.7 blocks, and he shot 54% from the field, guys, when he played every single game, and he was an all-star. Now, obviously, when it came to Rookie of the Year, you were like, how does Hakeem not do this? He totally changed the culture. Like I said in the beginning of the video, Hakeem was drafted 1st, but MJ was 3rd, had an insane career. Both of these guys, you can't really say that the Rockets should have got MJ. Obviously, I think both of these guys are in a class of their own, and they didn't make a mistake either way. Both of these guys had elite superstar talents. The first round of the playoffs that year was a little bit interesting. They got swept by the Jazz. That was his rookie year. Obviously, they're kind of building teammate chemistry. He was only 22 years old. But get this, guys. In his 2nd season during the playoffs, they swept the Kings in 3, which was a really good Kings team. And back then, it was a best of 5. So they swept them in 3. They swept the Nuggets in 6. And in the Western Conference Finals, they actually upset the Lakers in 5 games. Now, back then, they had Kareem and still had Magic. Kareem was pretty old, obviously, but get this, guys. Hakeem Olajuwon averaged 31 points a game, 11 rebounds, 2.2 steals, and 4 blocks on 52% shooting. That's insane. Second year, 23 years old, averaging those numbers against an all-time great. No matter how old you are, that is remarkable. And they ended up losing to the Celtics, which is an insane team. It's probably an all-time great team. Go look at that roster. That was like a prime Larry Bird. They had Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, those guys, Danny Ainge. That was an insane team. Go watch some of their highlights as well. They ended up losing to 6 to that team. And in itself, that's absolutely remarkable as a 23-year-old, second season to even hang in with those kind of guys. That's absolutely insane. Now, you're probably thinking, like, how does Hakeem not win more championships? He only had 2 in his career, and I only say only, which is still remarkable in itself. But Ralph Sampson actually got injured. He had a lot of injuries. He was pretty injury prone, and in his 3rd season, he was pretty much just out of it. He was done. So he couldn't really play. He was hurt too much, and at that time, it was just Hakeem Olajuwon. That's all they had. He's the lone superstar on that team for a majority of his prime. But this is what it gets really interesting as well. As I was doing my research, I found this 10-year stretch of his career from 1986 to 1996. You guys are going to be amazed. Now, when I talk about dominance, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for guys that are dominant for a long time. So this 10-year stretch just kind of goes to show you how dominant Hakeem Olajuwon was from the scoring perspective, from defense, from passing, everything like that. Now, Hakeem, during this time, like I said, 25 points a game, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks on 51% shooting. He got the rebound title twice, blocks 3 times, Defensive Player of the Year twice, and he ended up winning MVP. So that's just insane. It goes to show you how good Hakeem really was. Now imagine if he was like paired with, like I said in the beginning of the video, a lot of people comment about, Shaq being the greatest player, or even, Kareem being the most dominant. Now imagine if Hakeem was matched up with a Dwayne Wade or a Kobe Bryant during his time. How many championships would he have? I would think at least doubled, which is insane. But another thing about Hakeem was he wasn't just a shot blocker. He wasn't just a guy that was going into the post and, scoring. Like I said, he was so well-rounded. He averaged a lot of assists. He was one of 4 players to actually record a quadruple double. And the stat line to that was insane when I went and looked at it. 18 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists, and 11 blocks. Now, what's insane about this stat, like I mentioned before, he was only one of 4 players to do this. 12 games earlier, guys. Listen, 29 points a game. He got 29 points, 18 rebounds, 9 assists, and 11 blocks. 9 assists. He was 1 assist away from averaging or getting another quad double, and no player has ever done that. And Hakeem almost did that within a 12-day span. So that just goes to show you, man. And another thing, if you guys haven't seen this, you're just looking at how dominant this guy was. I think so many people overlook Hakeem. He obviously got the back-to-back championships like I talked about, but he dominated MVP David Robinson during this stretch. If you guys haven't seen those playoff series, it pops up on my feed all the time. Go watch that. Hakeem dominated David Robinson. I'm talking dominated. I'm talking destroyed him. And he dominated a Shaq in the Western Conference or in the finals. And, they swept, the Magic. Obviously, Shaq was young and all that kind of stuff like that. But these are the numbers that Hakeem put up against David Robinson. 35, 12, 5, and 4. And this is coming from a 6th seed. Hakeem Olajuwon just super dominant. I think he's super overlooked. Let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think. Who is the most overpowered center? I know it sounds kind of weird, but who's the most overpowered center in the NBA of all time? I think you got a good case for Hakeem Olajuwon. A lot of people kind of throw him off, but I think he's going to have a very good case for being the most dominant. Now, if you guys have been watching the gameplays, you've seen I've been destroying people with the shimmies, the fakes, the up and unders, the jump shots, the post hop shots, the fadeaways, all that kind of stuff like that. Now, this gameplay, I'm going to kind of showcase a little bit more of that. You can see nice little up and under right there. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this is what I'm talking about by some of these post moves not really working. You guys saw how close I was to the basket right there. And if you guys have been paying attention to the gameplay as well, sometimes I just can't even go up with these moves because they're just going to get blocked. A lot of times I get somebody on the up and under, they'll jump, and if I go for a layup, it's either going to get blocked or it's going to be like 86 or even higher, like smothered contest, which just doesn't make sense, and it's just not a good post move. And that's like another reason why I really haven't been using my post score too often this year. I get asked that a lot, and just the post moves in general, not being able to get a post entry. Last year, the biggest thing was, the glitching behind the screen on the inbound, so they had to push it back. So it's near impossible to get an actual, seal off in the post to actually get dominant post position. So it's just a lot tougher than, it really should be. And I get double teamed all the time if you guys have been watching that. But I do have a fun time doing these. So if you guys want to see any more of these NBA players, anybody's animations, post scorers, dribblers, jump shooters, whatever the case is, let me know down below in the comment section. But you guys can see I'm just destroying these guys. They're shooting me with double teams. But like I said beforehand, Hakeem is not some guy that will just go in there and like take on the whole entire team. But if he sees somebody open, his head was always up. He was definitely dotting people and hitting, open shooters like Kenny Smith, Robert Horry, guys like that. And they were knocking down jump shots, which they did when they went to the finals and when they won back-to-back championships. Now, you guys can see 12 points. We had some good rebounds. I didn't get really showcased as much as I would like as the rebounding and defense because we're on the twos. I'm not going to try to turn the ball over a million times just to play defense, but you can see a pretty nice move right there. I wish I greened it, but we're still dominating. But this last play, man, finally an up and under that works correctly, and we're dominating. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you want to see more of these, let me know down below in the comment section. But it's been your boy Dignified, and I'm out. Peace.